So I know there's a lot of confusion as to how to get the Lionheart. I know because I had to look up how to get the Lionheart today.
Wait.
What?
So people are still playing Final Fantasy VIII?
Fuck you.
Oh, sorry. Continue.
Anyway, yes, people are still playing Final Fantasy VIII. It's the third biggest selling Final Fantasy game.
Oh.
It's recently on Steam. Of course people are playing Final Fantasy VIII. And I know all you guys want the best weapon in Final Fantasy VIII, the ultimate weapon for Squall in Final Fantasy VIII. So I'm going to tell you how to get it. I sat down this morning, in fact, and did it myself so that I could tell you straight up how to get Lionheart from Final Fantasy VIII.
Nice.
When you start gonna boss you just a bit, you know you need your best. Because looking for items that you see.
You know we'll help you out with some tactics you might need.
Okay, so there is an item that you get in the game. It's, of course, the magazine. It's the first, I think it says it's the first monthly weapons magazine, whatever the fuck they call it in the game.
Is that one?
In your apartment?
When you're in the...
No, that's the first one you get in the game, but it's like an event in the game where you get the very first volume of weapons.
Oh.
Monthly. Fuck, I can't remember the name of the magazine right now. This is perfect.
It's something like that.
Yeah. Anyway, so with these, I know you haven't played that much of 8. With Final Fantasy VIII, you get these magazines, and then they'll tell you what items you need in order to get that thing, and then you have to go to the weapon shop and then pay however much money and have those items on you, and then of course they'll make the weapon for you, and your character's weapon will be upgraded. Anyway, when you get that magazine, I'm not even sure if you have to get the magazine, but I already had it on me on my character file. The ingredients are 1 Adamantine, 4 Dragon Fangs, and then 12 pulse ammo. So what you have to make sure is that your Ifrit is leveled up to level 10. Your Guardian Force Ifrit is leveled up to level 10 so that you can have the ammo refine ability, because otherwise you're not going to get a pulse ammo. So let's talk about how to get Adamantine real quick. The Adamantine is an item dropped by a few different bosses in the game, but that's not the easiest way to get a hold of Adamantine. Easiest way to get a hold of Adamantine is to go to it's one of the northernmost islands. It's called like a Big Horn Island. And you go and you walk around.
Sexual.
You walk around the beach, and there's a rare fight there with these turtle-like creatures called Adamantoise.
Oh yeah.
Most of the time, you're going to be running around. You're going to be hitting into Fastilliones or whatever they're called, the fish creatures on the beach.
Okay.
All the fucking time, and it's really annoying when you're trying to get this item. But you have to be at least the level of the Adamantoise have to be at least level 20. So what I did is I had Zell on a higher level and the other two at a low level, so that the level of Adamantoise would level
Even
out around level 20. So because otherwise, if Adamantoise is not at least on level 20, there's a 0% chance of him dropping Adamantine.
Wait, so it's a rare item from a rare enemy?
It's a rare, yeah. It's a rare item from a rare enemy. This is the hardest part of the thing to get.
Yeah.
And so you have to keep running around that fucking beach, and then you have to fight these Adamantoise guys, which heal themselves, so it's really annoying. And then when you kill them, there's not even a full chance that you'll get the Adamantine.
Right.
Luckily this morning, because I tried this last night, and I got really pissed off at the beach when I was fighting the turtles. They weren't giving me shit.
Yeah.
And so this morning I tried it again, though, and the first try, I got the Adamantine, and it was like,
Nice.
yes.
Don't you love that when that happens?
It was so nice, and I got that Adamantine, so that was one. That's really the only challenge there. Some people, if you're trying to do the level 7... the Squall level 7 challenge, you're not going to be able to get Adamantine that way.
Right, because they won't be level 20.
Because the turtles won't be level 20.
Unless you
unless you have one guy leveled up really high, which is what I did, and then it averages out.
Okay.
Because that's how the enemies work; they average out.
Yeah.
On the levels. So that's the Adamantine. And the next item you have to get is the Dragon Fangs.
How many of those did you need again?
You need to get 4 of them.
Okay.
But I only had to do one battle because the guy that I fought dropped 8 of them. The guy that you need to fight is the blue dragon.
Did you like punch his teeth out or what?
Yeah, I just fucking destroyed him.
Oh, you did say Zell was the higher level guy.
Right.
So you just like punched his... Yeah, you punched his teeth
Right.
out. Nice.
You can find him in a few areas. You can find him on the island closest to Hell, which is the westernmost island. You can also find him in the Deep Sea Research Center and the Ultimacia Castle if you're that far into the game. The place where I got him was the Trabadia area in a forest next to the that one city that's on that continent. It's the northern continent. And I just kind of ran around in the bushes until finally one of these fucking blue dragons showed up, and I killed him, and he dropped 8 of these Dragon Fangs. That was probably the easiest item for me to get, though. Before I went and got these items, I was looking around on a forum, and this one guy said that he was running around for an hour and never came across one.
Wow.
And until like he tried it the next day, and
Maybe
so
it's the next day thing.
It's a rare. It's obviously he's a rare enemy to hit into. But he does drop the Dragon Fangs, and I only had him fight him once.
Oh, that's nice.
And he dropped 8 Dragon Fangs, and I was like, oh, okay, well, I guess that's it for that item.
And it really hooks you up.
So I felt like that one was easier for me than the Adamantoise, because the Adamantoise, I don't know, there was just so many other enemies that I ran into before the Adamantoise.
Well, yeah, and them being a rare enemy with a rare item drop is ridiculous.
Right, yeah, exactly. Because I had ran into them, but they wouldn't drop the item.
Yeah, that sucks.
Especially yesterday when all my guys were really low level. There's no way he was going to drop the item, and you'd have to go about a bullshit way to get Adamantine.
Right.
You can refine for Adamantine, I believe. You can refine the Minotaur card in case you get that ever. You can refine the Minotaur card into Adamantine somehow, but I'm not really an expert on the card stuff. And I'll talk about the card stuff in a second here. The next item you have to get is pulse ammo. You have to get 12 pulse ammos. The way to get the pulse ammos, at least the easy way for me, you kind of have to be in a certain part of the game. It has to be after the lunar cry when you have the Ragnarok, so that you can fly around. And when the sky gets really red, you guys who've played Final Fantasy VIII, you guys know what I'm talking about. Honestly, if you haven't played Final Fantasy VIII, I don't know why you're listening to this episode personally. Or if you're on Final Fantasy VIII, you got to wait till the lunar cry, and the sky will go red near the city of Esthar. And here's the thing: you have to fight this guy named Enoyles. Okay,
Enoyles.
He looks like the boss in the tower near the beginning of the game.
Oh, okay.
But he's not. He's
the guy that
fists
fists Biggs and Wedge.
Yeah, he's got the huge, as Spoonie once says, the huge Jay Leno chin.
Oh yeah, I remember that.
Anyway, he looks like one of those. It's called an Enoyles. And honestly, he was the first battle I got into when I went there. So you go into Esthar. You don't go into the city. It's where you're like on the world map, but you're also in the city. You guys who played Final Fantasy VIII know what I'm talking about, where you're on like the roads, but yet it's still the world map area. Anyway, that's the random enemy in that area. And the reason you want to go get the Enoyles is because when you kill him, he'll drop an item called an energy crystal. Okay? And just so you know, there's like I don't know. It's also a rare item drop, but once again, I had it on the first try.
Okay.
Like I had that.
So it's hard to tell how rare it is. He
dropped.
Your standpoint.
He dropped. Yeah. He dropped the energy crystal on the first go around. So I got it, and this is where Ifrit's refinability comes in.
Okay.
You take that energy crystal, one energy crystal, and he dropped I think he dropped like 4 of them. One energy crystal equals 10 pulse ammos. So you just have to refine 2 of those. And then you'll have, of course, if you've done the other 2, if you got the Adamantine from the Adamantoise and the Dragon Fangs from the Blue Dragon, and you have the pulse ammo, you will have all the items you need to just go to a weapon shop and then click on Lionheart and spend 200 gil. You'll have to have 200, or not 200 gil, 2,000 gil.
I was like, damn, that's cheap.
And you'll be able to have Squall's ultimate weapon, which I think boosted my strength like 20 strength points. It was pretty big.
Yeah, well, I saw his damage before, and he did like, what was it, like 400?
Yeah, I was doing like 400, and then I put the weapon on, and I was doing like 1,000 something.
Yeah, which is
which is a pretty big difference.
Especially with you low level in it, because you have to in that game.
Right. That's the easiest way to beat the game. Is on a really low level. Anyway, Caleb, are you planning on getting the ultimate weapon in Final Fantasy VIII?
Shit.
Everybody has their own ultimate weapon, so there could be a guide for like everybody here.
Right.
But of course, the popular one to get is Lionheart.
Yeah. Well, I mean, he's going to be the
He's the
most
main
damaging
character, so you feel compelled to give him the ultimate weapon.
And he's this guy with the bigger sword, so he's probably going to do the damage.
Right.
So it's obvious. I don't know. I might. I mean, if I run into some of these,
it's certainly not. It's not that hard. Honestly, it might just be time consuming trying to get the right item drop. But
as opposed to just
I didn't find the enemies hard, and I didn't.
I wonder how
they two of them dropped for me on the first try.
Right.
I mean, I had to try the turtle one overnight, but.
So, does the game ever mention getting Lionheart? Is it in that weapons magazine?
It's just the weapons magazine. It says what the items are.
It doesn't say what the weapon is?
It does say what the weapon is. It says it's the Lionheart. Yeah.
Oh, you're just not sure how godly
it's not.
is.
No, I don't think
implied.
it gives you stats. It might. It's not that important though.
Oh well, if you know, well now everyone knows. I mean,
right. So
I'm just curious because some of these games,
it just tells you the ingredients, and your job is to find those ingredients, or hope that you already have them. And then let's say if you don't have a guide, you'd be like, "Where the fuck do I get them?" And you would have no idea. If it wasn't the age of the internet, it would suck.
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking. And that's kind of what bugs me about some of the side quests. But at least this one, they tell you the ingredients. What's weird is. You can refine the crystals with Ifrit, but he can't like forge the sword for you. Can you imagine how awesome that would be if he forged it?
That'd be sweet.
Yeah, it's like you put the metal into the little forging bowl, and he just like.
That would be awesome.
Then you pour it.
That would be awesome. They should make that in Final Fantasy 15.
Yeah, that would be really sweet, actually.
Well. There is another thing I have to address. The most popular way, well, not really the most popular way, but there is this challenge that people do, which consists of them getting Lionheart on the first disc, which is quite hard to get. Now, the easiest way to get the Lionheart, which is what I did, because I believe in taking the easy way out, is just wait till the middle of the third disc and go get the Lionheart through the battles.
Okay.
That's my way. Now, the other way of getting Lionheart, and I'm not going to go into detail of it because I refuse to do it, is to play cards like crazy, and of course use the cards to refine into these items.
Okay.
And
wait, you refine the cards?
You refine cards into certain things, like certain spells and stuff like that in the game. You can refine them to items too. I don't know the refining steps for these items in this particular game, but. Or for these particular items, but there's certainly easy ways to find those online and stuff like that. The thing is, I was looking at a guide because I was wondering if I was going to have to like say, okay, so this is what you do the card way, and I decided to not do that in this episode. He stated at the beginning that it was going to take about 20 hours of card playing to get through it because you have to get some rare cards, and so you have to like. You have to win against certain people many times before they finally bring that card out. And like one of the things, you have to get like the Enoyles card. Like you have to get 10 of them in order to like turn into one energy crystal.
Oh my god!
I think that's what it was. And like there's just like you have to fight Sid so many times in order to get that one card 10 times.
With the headmaster?
Yeah. You play cards. You don't really fight him.
He plays the card game? What is this?
Yeah, everybody plays the card game in Final Fantasy VIII. You know, it is kind of a fun game, but I get sick of it after about 20 minutes of playing.
Well, I don't like the rules. I hated. That's one thing I could never.
Well, yeah, the rules changed from region to region, and that was really annoying. That's why I stopped playing it too. Actually.
I couldn't get into it. I was like, "What the shit? I lose now. What is this?" Yes. And then they take your Ifrit card. I'm like, "Damn it!"
Some people swear by the card game because it's another way of getting like really powerful magic and stuff like that. And there's also an achievement on Steam, which is if you have one of every card.
Oh,
so
now you must.
Now I must get them all. No, dude, I tried it and I just like got sick of it so quick.
Yeah.
I was like, I can't handle this.
Well, it's crazy.
But if you can handle it, like if you're one of those people who like the card game, if you've never picked up Final Fantasy VIII before and you start playing the card game, fucking go for it. I don't care. certainly that's one way of getting Lionheart on disc 1, which is something you can say you did.
Yeah.
I mean, I got it on disc 3, but you can get it on disc 1.
That's pretty crazy. If you can get an ultimate weapon in the first quarter of a Final Fantasy game, like that's nuts.
Yeah, well,
your damage would be just snowballing the entire game.
True. Well, Final Fantasy VIII is an easy game to beat if you know how to beat it.
Yeah, that's what you said.
Yeah, so
with the no level,
with the no leveling up, man, you zoom through that game like no other.
Yeah. Maybe that's why they let you then.
Probably.
Because like if you got the ultimate weapon in 7, like that'd be kind of cheap.
Yeah.
You got 120 strength or damage in the very beginning of the game, just fucking one hit and everything.
Yeah, it's a really cool looking weapon too. It's like this blue sword. Yeah,
nice.
It's pretty cool. It looks a lot like Titus's like one blue
his
sword.
water sword, his first one.
Looks a lot like that. I always thought that was a cool design look.
Yeah.
Anyway, well, I think that's going to end it for Tactical Tuesday. Our official episode will be tomorrow, so we'll see you guys tomorrow.
Yeah, talk to you then.
This has been another production of Ultima Final Fantasy, the Ultimate Final Fantasy Podcast. The show was produced by Joseph DeGollier and Caleb Schweiss, with music and editing by Joseph DeGollier, parodies and clips from their respective authors, of course. You can get all of our episodes as well as our Let's Plays at ultimafinalfantasy.com. You can also contact us on Twitter at UFF Podcast, as well as our contact page on our website. Be sure to subscribe and review our podcast. Your reviews may get read on the show, and look forward to the next episode of Ultima Final Fantasy, the Ultimate Final Fantasy Podcast.